Okay. What's going on here? Hey, Pittsburgh. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Kiki Brown, Pretty Kitty on your radio for Whammo 1073. Here to tell you what's good in your hood. And we have returning champ, uh, guest, friend, and my so sweet soror here joining us once again. Last time we talked to you, DeNetta Benjamin Miller of the Sojourner House and the Sojourner House moms. We were talking like during the pandemic.
Yes.
So for those of us who try to wipe that memory clean from our mental database, why don't you tell us first off, thanks for being on the show,
Thank you for having me.
of course, and tell us what the Sojourner House is and the Sojourner House moms.
So, Sojourner House is a wonderful program. It is a gem. We've been in existence for over 30 years. We provide inpatient treatment, substance use treatment for mothers, and they can stay with us for up to 6 months. We are what we call 3.5 ASAM level of care for us when it comes to substance use treatment. They can bring two children with them under the age of 12. They each have their own apartment. We can take up to 14 mothers. They are provided with intensive case management for linkages, like things that we take for granted, like driver's licenses, state ID, birth certificates. We make sure that their children get enrolled in school. Also, we provide child care at our facility. So we have a family support specialist that provide parenting education to the mothers, as well as a child care specialist that have activities for our children. And so Sojourner House has been in existence, like I said, for over 31 years, but it was really with the development. It came from community providers and churches that saw a need for the community. They saw women experiencing substance use. Back then, crack cocaine was the primary issue. And some of these mothers were afraid to go to treatment. They didn't want to be separated from their children.
Mm,
And so this is why our purpose is so important because we provide care for the whole family system.
wow.
Sojourner House Moms has been in existence for over 20 years. We provide housing for families who are experiencing homelessness. So we have over 30 units of housing between Homewood and also in Highland Park. For majority of our housing units, a person can call Allegheny Link to be referred, and they'll be placed on our dashboard if they qualify. We also have 2 units for women who are in transitional. What we call transitional is maybe we have a woman in our program, she needs still extra support. And she's not ready to integrate in the community 100%. So we reserve 2 of our units for women who are in early recovery and they just need support. And then we also have 4 units that's in collaboration with Healthy Start for their Hello Baby initiative, where we will house their larger size families that have higher needs of support.
Okay. So the topics on the table recently have been substance abuse and mental health.
Correct.
And the Sojourner House and Sojourner House moms, those programs help address those issues. What it, how do you see these women when they first walk in to when they complete their program? What's been, I don't want to use the word outstanding, using it in a negative sense, but what's been something that stuck out with you to say, wow, this program is working, or wow, we need to do more with this program?
I think what stuck out for me is seeing a mother or a woman, or even some of our families address their trauma that sometimes is not addressed and can be the root issue of the mental health or even a substance use disorder, right? And really walking into healing with that, which creates a greater connection for her children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's breaking that intergenerational pattern
Mm-hmm.
by healing herself. And when you see a person go through that transformation of enlightening and starting to love on themselves and not walk in guilt and shame because it's something they experience that is a disease,
Mm-hmm.
but really see the hope and potential of providing for their family, for themselves, that is the true success.
Mm-hmm.
We are not our experiences.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. And I went to, a few years back, I went to your, I believe it was a tea.
It was the
It
tea.
was
The
the
tea's coming.
tea, your
Yeah.
annual tea.
Yes.
And through that time, I met the woman who is the founder of Beverly's Birthdays, Megan. And she's been on the show several times, and I've seen her growth. Collaboration is key. Would you say?
I just
What
said that yesterday in a
what
meeting. Mhm.
organizations do you all work with? Because you did mention Healthy Start, but what other and Beverly's Babies, what birthdays? What other organizations do you all work with so that we can, continue the conversation of helping our community members?
So we work with a plethora of organizations. We oftentimes will work and collaborate even with Family Links. We have a psychiatric nurse now in our treatment program because
Mm,
to help us to be able to provide care for the mental health. And we were able to collaborate with Family Links to provide that service. They were able to connect us to a psychiatric nurse because there
mhm,
was a need. Also, we have connection. Of course, we will always have a connection with Power. Power is like a sister organization to us.
mhm,
When it comes to referrals and support, we will always support Power. Also, we have connection with Pittsburgh Action Against Rape.
mhm,
On both sides, sometimes our mothers and sometimes our families may have some trauma around sexual abuse, and they come in and they provide education and services.
mhm.
We have connections with community doctors as well, and they come in and provide some education around physical health, and sometimes even some mental health needs.
Wow.
I talked about a Healthy Start, which is one of my pride and joys, that collaboration. And also, I mean, I just can't think of, we just have a
So many,
plethora.
yeah.
Yeah, so many organizations that we partner with, and we're
Mhm.
always looking for opportunities to partnership, right?
Okay.
So why have parallel play? If you do the same thing I do, how come we can't collaborate and make it work?
That's a statement right there. I love that. I also want to say is if there's something that a a member of the community who is in search of help and need of help or resources, if there's something that the Sojourner House or Sojourner House moms cannot do, maybe you're at capacity, or this is something that kind of doesn't qualify you for our program. So that's great that you have these relationships with these other organizations, and then you can make those referrals and you can kind of not transfer, but make a recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, your resources and your programs are so powerful. And again, my experience at that tea, I was able to meet some of the women
Mm-hmm.
that I want to say graduated out of the program,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
those are your success stories.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that experience and being able to witness the women who come in one way, but graduate another way.
So for me, it's empowering. And it goes to my point that I always make. People always focus on a negativity around substance use disorder. A person can't recover. They want this. No one wakes up wanting to be addicted to anything.
Hmm.
You And so just seeing that mother and seeing these families make this transformation, right? But also, I think the most important thing for me is knowing that 75% of people who go into recovery and seek services do recover.
Okay.
And they
Okay.
go on and do beautiful things. Like you see some of the alumni that attended the tea. There
Hmm.
was a woman I had a connection with for years.
Hmm.
I would go and she was, I would buy hair off of her, right? I ain't no
Right.
shame in my, right? Never knew she was in recovery until I started working at Sojourner House, and she told me she was an alumni.
Wow.
And she is now one of our active, most supportive people to talk about Sojourner House. She represents our platform, and so I'm forever grateful to her.
Hmm. Now, someone can graduate, and I don't want to make a turn to the negative, but this could be something that somebody's thinking about. People relapse. Can they go back to the
Yes,
Sojourner House? Like, how does
yes.
that work?
So when someone relapses, just say, for example, if a person says, I'm leaving, they walk out the door,
Hmm.
uh, we give them at least 24 to 48 hours to come back. If
Hmm.
they don't come back, we still have to reach out and say, do you need services? We also have this unique thing called an aftercare card, which prints out all the numbers they may need in a crisis, including our numbers.
Mm.
And regardless if they graduate or if they leave AMA, our goal is to put that aftercare card in their hand and a magnet they can stick on a refrigerator with those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So when they are experiencing trauma or they may have relapse and they want help, they're not confused on who to call for assistance. They can call us and we'll link them.
Okay. So what have you added? I know it's been 2 years since we've talked. We had you on the show. What more can we look forward to? From the Sojourner House and Sojourner House moms.
For us, we will do an expansion in drug and alcohol education to the community. As you know, that there is an increase overdose rates in Black and Brown communities because sometimes they may not get the resources or understand the correlation even between crack cocaine and opioid use and how both of them together can increase your risk for an overdose.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be collaborating with Me Productions as well to provide some education and also doing some outreach on within our own program to make sure that the community understands that they can get help and help reduce that stigma. The
Okay.
other thing is that we pride ourselves in our foundation of being established by faith-based groups, right? Because faith is an essential part of recovery.
Amen.
And so we will have a day of prayer at Sojourner House. This has been an idea of mine for the last 2 years. I'm like, how can we use our faith-based partners to give us a resource that is not monetary, but more powerful than money, which is prayer. So on March 6th at our Mom's Green location, which is our play yard, we have a play yard with a pavilion in Highland Park as well. We will host a day of prayer.
Wow. And that's just welcoming the community to come out.
Welcome the community, faith-based partners,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of denomination, to just say, hey, come pray with us.
We need it.
Yes, 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 yes,
We
yes.
need it. So we're driving around. We're getting ready for church. We're listening on our smart speakers, and we want to do something about this. We want to do something more. We want to volunteer. We want to maybe get more information on enrollment or my daughter, my niece. Where can we go? Who can we talk to? Who can we reach out to?
So you can reach out a couple of ways. You can go to our website, www.sojournerhousepa.org. It's important to put that PA in there because there's another Sojourner House and another, I think in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go on our website, we have an info where it has contact in the breadcrumb menu, and you can just send us an email. That email will get sent to our development department, who will make sure that we see it. And whether it's someone who needs help, they're not sure if they're fit, we will respond to that email. Okay. Also, if you're interested in the Victorian Tea, which is April 14th this year at the Omni William Penn downtown, or a day of prayer, which is March 6th, you can also use that contact link on our website, but you can also directly contact Liz Wassel. Liz is our coordinator outreach manager, and she's been at Sojourner House forever. But she is a wonderful person, and she's a good person to connect with. And her number is 412-441-7783, and her extension is 215.
Okay.
So if you want to volunteer, donate, Liz is your person.
All right. And it's Sojourner House, PA?
Okay. Yep.
Sojourner House, PA. SOJOURNER, like Sojourner Truth.
Yeah, we were named after Sojourner Truth.
Okay, the significance, because we're approaching Black History Month. She was an abolitionist, correct?
She was.
Okay.
She was.
Yeah.
She was. And she always said the truth will prevail, right? And so we help our mothers see their truth so they can prevail and walk into their wholeness, into their healing. Awesome. For their whole family. It's not just about her, it's everybody she's connected to.
I love that. Anything else you want to add? Let folks know why we got their attention.
Just keep us in your prayers, send us positive energy. Please try to attend the day of prayer, March 6th, at our green space in Highland Park. If you need information, it's on our website. You can also contact Liz Wassel and come out with your fascinators and your fancy dress and attend the Victorian Tea. I'm so happy that Tammy from Catapult is going to be our Victorian Tea chair. His
Oh,
work
that's gonna be
he's doing in the
awesome.
community is awesome.
Yes, she is. Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
So we got to support her and highlight her as well.
Absolutely. I thought she was gonna say she's gonna be a keynote. I'm like, oh,
She'll be
stuff.
speaking. She will. I'm
Oh
not going to
yeah.
speak for. We would like for her to speak. Let me just say
Then
that.
she'll be mad at me. She'll be like twins because we both have the same hectic schedules, so we call each other twin. And she'll be like, "Why you set me up for that?"
Yeah, when she agreed to be our chair this year, I was ecstatic. I was so
Awesome.
grateful.
That's
Yes.
great. Sign me up. I'm gonna get my ticket. I'll be there.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
yes. It's April
April 14th.
April 14th. Okay. All right. Well, I love it and I love you. You know it. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, DeNetta Benjamin Miller, the Sojourner House and Sojourner House moms. Love the programming. SojournerHousePA.org.
Correct. Yep.
.org is the website if you want to learn more. Thank you so much for telling us what's good in your hood.
Thank you.